Hello, great people. Trump don't punch Bola Tinubu again, and this time around, he punched him really, really hard. In a moment, I'll leave you to watch the video of where Donald Trump was speaking to Fox News, and he has some strong words against the Tinubu administration, particularly as regards the failure of Nigeria's president to manage insecurity, the alleged Christian genocide, and the recent abduction of over 300 students in Niger State. The US president threatened to cut ties and subsidy to Nigeria. In a moment, I'll leave you to watch the video, and when we come back, I will be dissecting something for you, which is the concept of SOP, failure to protect. To my ardent viewers, to my subscribers, I would advise you, do not miss this video for any reason, because I dish out political concept as a political scientist, and I'll be giving you one today. What Donald Trump left unsaid in that particular video, but what he meant in that video, I will be exposing it to you under FOP, what we call failure to protect. How can failure to protect lead Bola Ahmed Tinubu to the International Criminal Court? How could it lead to his conviction? And what could lies in the day ahead as regards Donald Trump's incessant threat against the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu? We'll be dissecting this. We'll also be looking at the international dynamics, the US-Nigerian relations, implication for 2027. Then I have an icing on the cake, because the Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni has also lent a voice to this particular issue of insecurity in Nigeria. I will be telling you what the Italian Prime Minister said. We'll be dissecting all the issues, cutting through the noise, and a whole lot more on this episode of Politics with Oshwoplug, Dr. Omosholadeji. If you are watching me and you are yet to subscribe, of course subscribe to this channel, so that as they drop the story, it go dey land for your hand real time. Let's go and watch the video of US President Donald Trump while he was speaking to Fox News. Then we'll come back for some great discussion. Let's watch it.
Nigeria is a disgrace. The whole thing is a disgrace. They're killing people by the thousands. It's a genocide, and I'm really angry about it. And we pay, we give a lot of subsidy to Nigeria. We're going to end up stopping. The government's done nothing. They're very ineffective. They're killing Christians at will. And, until I got involved in it 2 weeks ago, nobody even talked about it.
There you have it. Is Bola Ahmed Tinubu in trouble, or would he be in big trouble in the days ahead? If you are to summarize all what President Donald Trump said in his speech to Fox News in 3 words, I will put it as failure to protect. President Donald Trump is accusing Bola Ahmed Tinubu of failing in his responsibility to protect life and properties in Nigeria. And one thing in that particular video is that President Donald Trump is indicting the government of Nigeria. What does that mean? How can that lead Bola Ahmed Tinubu to the ICC? What are the things that Trump have left unsaid? What is failure to protect? Let me break it down for you. You see, the concept of failure to protect is a strong crime among Committee of Nations. What do I mean by that? If you fail to protect your people and you have found one thing, definitely it can come with serious consequence. But let me tell you, between nations first, before I go to Committee of Nations. You see, between nations, I've told my ardent viewers before that countries, or if you like, nations, are being seen as human beings. The way you have value as a human being, the way you have friends, the way you have enemies, based on what you believe in, based on your culture, based on your tradition, based on your upbringing. That is how countries too have friends and enemies based on their policies, the value of that particular country, what that country believe in. So if the United States government believe in security of life and property, if you are not doing enough, definitely you will not be a friend to the United States. And the US president is threatening in that regard to cut subsidy to Nigeria. Some of you don't know that Nigeria benefits from a lot of subsidy from the United States in terms of aid, in terms of some assistance. I remember during COVID then, President Donald Trump was the president of US at the time during COVID-19 era, and he donated some ventilators to Nigeria. And there are some other aids as regards even some US institutions, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation tackling polio in Nigeria with the assistance of the US government, or should I say with the cooperation of the US government. So Donald Trump is threatening to cut subsidies to Nigerians, to Nigeria. And not only that, if he cuts subsidy to Nigeria, it will definitely cut ties to Nigeria as well, which is that your value doesn't equate with our own. Therefore, we don't want to have much or anything to do with you as a country. Now, I've explained between countries. Now, let me now go to the Committee of Nations. You see, as regards the Committee of Nations, the concept of failure to protect can come in two ways. And I need you to listen attentively to this. It can come in two ways: out of complicity or lack of capacity. Take note, it can come in two ways. Failure to protect can either come out of complicity or out of capacity. If you analyze the statement of US President Donald Trump, he is accusing that the Nigerian government's failure to protect is as a result of complicity, not lack of capacity. Now, what do I mean by that? You see, when you go to the ICC, if you are exposed to some of the cases as regards former head of state or former president in ICC, you will realize that most of those cases usually come out of complicity, not out of capacity. Because those cases usually come out of complicity and not out of capacity. If the US government framed the narrative, rightly or wrongly, that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is unable to protect his people out of complicity or is aiding and abetting Christian genocide, don't forget that genocide is an international crime, and genocide is a crime that you can face charges and prosecution and conviction at the International Criminal Court. So if you look at it very well, one area that Nigerians are not looking into, and perhaps some of the lazy brains, some of the dull brains in the Nigerian presidency, with profound respect, there are some intelligent people there, but I can tell you that there are some very dull brains that behave in a very irrational manner in the Nigerian presidency. And I just pity Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because anything that they do or say will definitely rub on him. Now, if US successfully shape the narrative, definitely if the international community buys into it, Bola Ahmed Tinubu may be facing the International Criminal Court if care is not taken. And that is why the Tinubu presidency must be doing a lot to make sure that they tame that narrative of genocide. If that narrative continues to fly, and in a moment I will read you the statement of the Italian Prime Minister Giorgio Meloni, you would see what she has to say as well. So if all these countries are agreeing that there's genocide in Nigeria, if Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not careful, he go find himself for International Criminal Court. Now, let me further explain something to you. You see, complicit will make you face charges, but you see, I gave you two concepts that FOP, failure to protect, can come under two concepts. One is complicit or lack of capacity. One is complicit. Two is lack of capacity. I have explained complicit to you. Now, lack of capacity is that you have security challenges. You have Boko Haram, you have ISWAP, you have murderous men, you have kidnapper, but you are trying your best, but you lack the capacity. Maybe because there are some fifth columnists in your country, maybe because these people are collaborating with a government of another country, maybe because you naturally don't have the resources to purchase the required arms and ammunition, maybe because you don't lack you lack the required technology to tackle these people. That is lack of capacity. That lack of capacity will not come with any consequence, because it will be viewed that you are trying your best, but you don't have the capacity to overcome the challenge that you are facing. But the dangerous narrative as regards the US president and US government narrative is that the accusation to the Nigerian government is not out of lack of capacity. It is as regards complicit of some of the people in government, and that is very, very dangerous. Sometimes when I do my analysis, I think I'm very helpful, because I do give the people in government, I do give them some little clues of how they can adjust, of some of the things that they can do. And I just hope that maybe it will get to them and they would listen. Now, let's go to Donald Trump himself. For Donald Trump, we can't fail but point out the hypocrisy of the US government and the US president, in the sense that as Trump is angry with Nigeria over alleged genocide, Trump should be angry with Israel as well. He should be angry with what is going on in Gaza. Definitely, he should be angry with what is going on in Gaza, because you cannot be screaming, oh, Christian genocide in Nigeria, then when it comes to the action, the excesses of Israel, then you keep quiet. All lives matter. And I want to see some level of equity, fairness, justice from the actions of the US government, in the sense that you cannot just be saying, oh, Christian lives matter. No, Muslims' lives matter too. So as you are punching Bola Ahmed Tinubu hard, can you please extend some punch to Benjamin Netanyahu, the leader of Israel. Can you please extend some punches to him as well? Because the punches where they throw Bola Ahmed Tinubu these days is very, 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 very hard. So I believe that all lives matter, not just that of Christians, that of Muslims, that of atheists, that of Buddhists, that of Buddhists. You know, no matter your religion, your belief or faith, so long as you are a human being, your life matters. Now, let us go back to the Nigerian government. You see, as regards the Nigerian government, why would you expect people not to react? 303 students were kidnapped in Niger State, plus 12 teachers. That is a total of 315 persons. Out of those 315 persons, 303 out of them that are students, they are underage. How do you expect that the world will not react? How do you expect that everybody will keep quiet? Such abduction can only happen in a failed country. Such kind of abduction, because for you to abduct 315 people, wait, you're not going to need trailer to park them. Maybe just imagine for a moment. You're not going to need trailer to park 315 people, and you just park them away just like that, and there is no check from the security agency, so much so that you are able to park them away and you are able to trek or journey for a reasonable distance that is not easy for the security agencies to reach you till now. That is absolute nonsense. That can only happen in a failed government. That is why I have asserted that Nigeria is not a disgraced country. I disagree with President Donald Trump. Tinubu is rather the disgrace. Nigeria is a blessed country. Nigeria is a blessed country with enormous natural and human resources. So I disagree that Nigeria is a disgraced country. No, Nigerian leaders are the disgrace. Nigeria is not a disgraced country. Nigeria is a blessed country, unfortunate to have terrible, unimaginable leaders. Nigeria is a blessed country that is just unfortunate to have leaders that are greedy, to have leaders that only think about themselves. So I disagree with Trump that Nigeria is a disgraced country. Rather, Tinubu is the disgrace. Obasanjo, Jonathan, Yaradua, name them. Buhari is the disgrace. Wike, name anybody. Atiku Abubakar, these are the disgrace, not Nigeria. Now, let us go into the statement as released by Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni of Italy. She lent her voice to the ongoing insecurity in Nigeria, and she has this to say: we strongly condemn, in quotes now, we strongly condemn the renewed violence against Christian communities in Nigeria today. Take note of that. Against Christian communities. You remember what I told you about failure to protect ICC and all that? You know, if you are watching me and you enjoy this video, please share it to other people. Let them get to enjoy it as well. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel, so that as I drop the story, you go to land for your hand real time. Subscribe. Let's build this community together. Now, look at it. Say, we strongly condemn the renewed violence against Christian communities in Nigeria today. Religious freedom is an inalienable right. We call on the Nigerian government to strengthen the protection of Christian communities and all religious communities and prosecute those responsible for this heinous attack. You see, I pity those in the Tinubu presidency. All those people, I don't want to mention names, that, that are unintelligent or intelligent by half. I just pity them, because if they are not careful, you see this narrative that is shaping across the globe, when the consequence will fall on Bola Ahmed Tinubu, they will not be there. It is Tinubu that will face it squarely. Now, let me read the statement further to you. It says, Italy expresses its closeness to the victims and communities in Nigeria that today feel in danger because of their religious beliefs. So you can see that the global solidarity and allegiance with the belief and assertion of the US government is taking shape. I just hope that Nigerian government will listen and take prompt action in the days ahead. It's been an interesting time with you on this episode of Politics with Joshua Plug, Dr. Omosholadeji. Subscribe, turn on your notification button, catch up with my past videos. See you in my next video. I love you all sincerely.